G'day guys, what a week. I'm just going to promise myself I'm not going to go on a meth rant like I did last week. I think that's very important. I'm also going to promise that I'm not going to swear as much as I did last week as well. So I'm going to try and keep this as composed and calm as I can, which is sometimes difficult for me. I acknowledge that. However, what I want to say, okay, will come with the same strength and passion which I always try and deliver on my Blue Heaven. It's been, I can't remember a week like this from a personal point of view in regards to my level of anger, okay, level of anger, which is still brewing inside me now, which is quite worrying. Because at the end of the day, this is like it's a game of football. It's not really life or death. But maybe at the moment there's not a lot going on, particularly if you're a Melburnian, with your life in regards to being able to get out and do something a little bit different. Football's really something we can just hang on to. I've locked horns this week, and apologies I haven't been able to get on this week to do a review or a preview of the North Melbourne game coming up. I just couldn't do it. And every time I've sort of got off my ass to try and do it, something's popped up, or I just haven't been in that headspace to do it. So I apologise for that. So this is more of a take than a review or a preview of the North game and the Port Adelaide game, although I will mention, obviously, the Port game, because it's still, inside of me, it's still brewing, okay? And it's become a lot clearer, okay, over the last, say, 3 days, okay? Exactly why there's this level of anxiety and why have I been locking horns and fighting with so many Carlton supporters, okay, on social media. And yeah, to the point of me putting a lot of people off, to the point of me maybe offending people. And yeah, it doesn't particularly make me feel proud, but it is what it is, okay? And I'm not going to shy away from that. It is what it is, okay? I've got some really strong opinions on this, and I feel really passionate about it, and I'm going to express to you how I'm feeling right now in that regards and why I have been so angry. And it's about, okay, it's about expectations. And this is what I've been trying to talk about for most of the week, okay, is about expectations this year, 2020. Not expectations beyond this year. I'm talking expectations right here, right now. Okay, expectations of this football team, which is being put out on the park at the moment. Expectations of our senior coach, David Teague, and obviously his assistants. And the expectations of the club in general. Okay, now we're all, as supporters, are going to have different expectations. But the fact of the matter is our expectations really do not matter. Okay, most of us, okay, will buy memberships and support the club. Okay, we'll support them. Really, our expectations do not matter. So I really don't care whether you at the start of the year said, okay, I expect the club to have 5 wins this year, or I expect the club to have 6 wins, or I expect the club to play finals. Really, it does not matter what our supporters think in that regards, okay? My point here is what I truly believe, okay, is the expectation within the club. Within the club, from David Teague and the players this year, okay, and the football club, okay? And this is what I truly believe, okay? And I'm going to explain why, okay, I've come up with this, okay? Why I've come up with this, all right? So my expectations, or what I expect now, is based on what I think the club expect, okay? And that is, I expect the club right here, right now, to be playing playing finals this year. This year. 2020, not 2021, not 2022. I'm talking playing finals this year. I mentioned the word finals, okay? Read my lips. Finals. Finals. And my expectation is that they will play finals. Whether we make it or not is a completely different story. So if you're shit frightened out there of failure, okay, that has got nothing to do with what I believe this club is talking about within the four walls or what they're believing. All right. So why was I so angry after the final siren when Robbie Gray, that little pissant, well, he's not a pissant, marvellous football, sunk us on the siren or after the siren? Why was I so angry? Okay. Now, the fact of the matter is I was angrier a long time, well, not so much a long time, but at least 6 or 7 minutes before that. Okay. So my anger was brewing for a number of different reasons. Okay. So when you're in a position of, a couple of goals up with all the momentum and the opposition are 2 players down, and then their big key forward who'd been absolutely dominating goes off the ground with the blood rule and can't get back on. The expectation is that you close that game out. This is about winning, and it's about winning. Football is about winning. It's not, effort and trying are all non-negotiables as far as I'm concerned. This was about closing that game out and winning, okay? And sometimes you win them and sometimes you lose it and you cop it on the chin. But why was I so angry? Why the anger? Now I'm hearing terms like, I'm heartbroken. It was soul destroying. It was gut wrenching. Okay, these are all the terms I'm hearing from supporters. Now, I was angry. Okay, I wasn't heartbroken. Okay, or soul destroyed. I was just angry. Okay. Now I want to go back and I want to compare 2 games. Okay, because I want to explain something in a minute. Why my anger? So I want to go back well over 12 months ago to when Brendan Bolton was coaching. Okay, and I'm sorry to go back over old ground, but this is for me was important. Okay, and understanding why I am expecting and why I think this group that is playing right now will be expecting to play finals this year. Well over 12 months ago, round 8 of last year. Do you remember the game? If you're a true Carlton supporter, you will remember this game. It was against Collingwood at the MCG. I think it was a Saturday afternoon. It was a classic in Carlton Collingwood encounter. Okay, it was young and old. It was on. Okay, and we took it right up. We actually took it right up to a team, okay, that was coming off, a devastating grand final loss. Virtually lost the game on the siren themselves. Okay, a really, really bloody good football team. Okay, full of very good players, and all of those players, all of those players were pretty much playing, okay, on that day. All right, we not only led them at at 3/4 time in that game, okay, and we played some really attractive and attacking brand of football, but we also had huge momentum halfway through that last quarter. You'll all remember it. Patrick Cripps, okay, kicked that goal. Breathe Carlton supporters by Anthony Hudson was the commentary. Then somehow we lost the game. Okay, we lost the game. I mean, it ended up, I think, being 17 or 18 points, but we lost it. We were right in it, right up to the last couple of minutes where Collingwood, bang, 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 kicked a couple of goals. We were upset and heartbroken in that game. Okay, I was heartbroken. I wasn't angry. I was just heartbroken. Okay, I was soul destroyed. I was upset. The reason I was upset in that game is because when I looked through that team that day when I looked through that team, compared to the team that's been put out on the park, okay, this year and on the weekend against Port Adelaide. So bear with me here. Let's go through some of the names who played against. I know we're hearing how wonderful Port Adelaide are, okay? Port Adelaide haven't played finals for ages, okay? So suddenly they're this unbelievable football team. We had them on toast. We should have beaten them. Sure, they're good. Okay? But let's go back. Let's go back to that game against Collingwood. This is who was playing. We had three first-year players playing in that game. Sam Walsh, Liam Stocker, and Michael Gibbons. Now, obviously, Gibbons is experienced, okay, but at the same time, it was his first year in the AFL. Okay, so 3 first-year players. Okay, we also had Paddy Dow, a second-year player playing in that game. Okay, let's go through. We had Williamson playing in that game. We had Sam Petreski-Seaton playing in that game. We had Caleb Marchbank. We had Cunningham. We had Fisher. We had Harry Mackay. We had Jacob Wiedering. We had Jack Silvani. We had Will Setterfield coming off a knee reconstruction. We had Charlie Curnow playing. Okay, that day we fielded an extremely young, developing team, and we cut them some slack. We were upset about the loss, but we cut them some slack, as you do with young, developing teams. Okay, you learn from it and you move on. Unfortunately for Bolton, okay, it all come to an end after that anyway. But these kids, we took it right up to them, and the feeling we had after that game was, okay, we can slightly patronise them, okay, because that's what it is, okay, young developing team, give them a break, they're learning, okay, it's the 4th year of the rebuild, blah, 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 we'll get better, we can see some significant growth, all those sort of things that I'm hearing that after this game from a large section of supporters, which has really frustrated me. Now, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I want to just try to put it through why I have been frustrated this week and angry. Okay, so let's fast forward now. Okay, Teague takes over. Bolton's sacked. The expectation was the reason why Bolton was sacked, and it was mentioned by Mark Lagudiche. Go back through the archives, listen to why Bolton was sacked, because he wasn't winning games. The expectation was that this group should be winning games. Okay, Teague comes in and he does that. He does it immediately. So this team has proved, okay, all right, under Teague that they can win games. And even when Teague came in, it was pretty much the same players, okay? He just swapped the roles a little bit, but it was still pretty young. Dow, O'Brien, okay, they were all playing. Let's fast forward now, okay, to this year. And let's have a look at the team that is being put out on the park the whole of this year. Okay, from round 1 right up to round 7. And what really gets up my goat is this continuing rhetoric, which comes, I reckon, from the media department at Carlton, that this is a developing young team. Let's get something straight. Every time you patronise this team that's been put out on the park at the moment, you're actually kicking them in the fucking balls. And you're not doing them any favours. Let's go through it. Let's go. And this is why. The reason why I was so angry, the images I saw post that loss wasn't Liam Stocker lying on the ground upset. Wasn't Jack Silvani laying on the ground upset. Wasn't Lockie O'Brien or Paddy Dow, okay, with their hands like this. It was Eddie Betts. It was Cade Simpson. It was Mark Murphy. Okay? So every time, let's break it down here. The team, from round 1 this year to now, there have been 2 omissions so far this year. Only 2 omissions. Only 2. And we're not even inside the top 8. Okay? So that says to me that David Teague is putting his faith in a senior group. These players that are taking the field this year are not babies anymore. Patrick Cripps said it as much at the start of the year anyway, that there are no excuses anymore in regards to age anyway. But let's have a look, okay? Every time you're patronising Eddie Betts, 33-year-old, arguably the best small forward of all time. He played on the weekend. 36-year-old Cade Simpson. How many more times do you want to patronise him? Okay, third highest games player ever at the football club, one of our all-time greats. You patronise him. Mark Murphy, 2-time best and fairest winner, former captain of the football club. Okay, champion. Okay, you patronise him. Okay, let's go to our co-captains for a second. They're not kids. All right, they're not kids. Patrick Cripps, okay, 25 years of age now. 25 years of age now. Arguably the best midfielder in the competition. We hang our hat on it all the time. He was playing. His partner in crime, Sam Doherty, 26 years of age, about to play his 100th game. Sure, he's had 2 knee reconstructions, but he's fitted straight back in like a glove. It was only 3 weeks ago that we were saying he was in all-Australian form. So it's not like he's come back out of form. These are our 2 co-captains. They're the ones that were playing on the weekend. Experienced footballers. Experienced. Then we look, okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. These are the players that have consistently played all year, all right? Levi Casbolt, 30 years of age, been around a long time. But some people are even saying he's in all-Australian form. Okay, he's no baby anymore, but we treat him like a baby. He's developing. Liam Jones, the same. 29 years of age. He's been around a long second club. He's been playing as a key defender for a long time now. Let's keep going. Let's keep patronising Jack Nunes. 27 years of age. 162 games. He's been around for ages. He's continuing to play. Let's keep going. Lockie Plowman, 25 years of age. He's played over 100 games now. We continue to patronise them. Jack Martin, being lauded as this, which he is, a wonderful footballer. A wonderful footballer. He's no 18, 19, 20-year-old. He's 25 years of age with over 100 games under his belt. Mitch McGovern, nearly 26 years of age. Second club. He's no baby. All right. Michael Gibbons. I mentioned it before, but this is his second year now. He's 25 years of age. He's a 2-time Western medal winner, okay, at the second highest competition in Australia. He knows what he's doing. He's an experienced head. Well, he should be an experienced head. Okay, we can keep going. Even the guys who you might consider to be young in the team at the moment. Jacob Wiedering, 83 games he's played now. Sam Petreski-Seaton, he's played 71 games now. Okay, they've been around the block now for a long time. It's not like they're babies anymore. We did not have one first-year player. We've only played one first-year player this year. He was in and out. We blinked and he was gone. The only bloke who's really young at the moment is Sam Walsh, 20-year-old in his second season, and we all know how mature he is. And he was, okay, he's considered probably one of the most mature young footballers going around. He's bloody fantastic. This team is being primed to play finals football this year. The expectation within the club should be that it's going to play finals football this year. It's not a young team. So we need to stop. We need to stop now. The growth, okay, the metrics, the measurements, all that sort of corporate talk. Sure, okay, this team needs to improve and it will continue to improve, just like every other team. But this team had an average age of 26 on the weekend with 110 games, average, compared to Port Adelaide 25 with 100 games. Have a look at how young the Western Bulldogs are at the moment. This is not a developing team anymore, guys. It's not. Do not be scared of failure. Just because I am actually demanding, okay, that this club plays finals this year in the position we're in, and our form, okay, when we're up and going, stacks up against any other team in the competition. So there are no more excuses. The only excuse you could have is if we were fielding a young team, and I mean a young team, like the Sydney Swans, or even like the Western Bulldogs. So you can't have it both ways. You can't sort of go, oh, we got Eddie Betts, oh, we got Patrick Cripps, oh, we've got, Kate Simpson, oh, we've got Murph, and we've got, all these players, and then suddenly go, oh, we lost so, but, we're still developing and there's still growth there, and it doesn't make sense. I love what David Teague is doing. He's playing for the now, but with an eye on the future. All those kids are developing quite nicely underneath. They're the future. They're the future, and I'm confident with that. But I'm assessing this year. This year. So if we get, okay, to whenever the finals are, bloody, I'm confused, wherever they are, and we don't make it this year, I'm assessing that as a failure, and there's nothing wrong with assessing that as a failure. Because I believe within the four walls, and I've used that awful cliche, that this team under David Teague is preparing and priming this team to do that this year. Because this team is going to be significantly different next year if we don't make it this year. Because we won't be able to carry those blokes again. Because if they're not good enough to make it this year, this group at this age, then they're never going to bloody make it. Because we won't go around with these, we'll have to bring in those younger guys. I actually just got fired up then, but I tried not to swear. So, to finish off, we need to stop. We need to stop treating this team like a pack of kids. Okay? We need to stop treating it. We need to have our expectations very, very high for the rest of the season. And it starts this week against North Melbourne. I'm hearing things like, oh, I'm really nervous about North Melbourne. Oh, they've done a job. Yeah, that's fine. You can have any emotions you want about a football game. But then I read comments like, oh, the real test comes this week. The real test comes this week. No, it doesn't. The real test came last week against Port Adelaide. The real test will come the week after. Not every weekend is a test. And we failed that test against North Melbourne. Not because we were young. Not because we were young. So don't make the excuses it's a developing team. It was because we fucked it up and we blew it. And that's why I was angry. Because these players should know better. Just like against North Melbourne, when we front up with pretty much an identical team this week, I don't see many changes happening. Teague has been very conservative. And I actually quite enjoy that because it keeps me invested in this year. I'm sick of waiting years beyond, oh, we'll play finals that year. No, we want to play finals this year. So I am assessing every game. Okay, if we come out, okay, against North Melbourne, we will beat them. With what we've been able to display this year, with the talent we've got on the park, we beat them every day of the week. We beat them every day of the week. Okay? So please don't use the fact that this is a developing team as an excuse anymore. We are primed to play finals football this year. Thanks for joining me.